everyone in the world is going to ask you why you can't have a normal relationship. Each of us has inside of our soul a space of love for our beloved. And each space of love attracts a certain type of beloved into our lives. So, like, remember last week, some people's space of love is a garden, they attract gardeners. Some people's space of love is a gym, and they attract other people who want to work out. And some people's space of love was full of rest. They attract people who want to rest. So you design a space of love in your soul that makes you attract certain types of soulmates to you. Now, when we say pili aloha, when we say beloved, we also mean soulmate. And soulmates can be romantic partners, but they can also be non-romantic partners. But they are always very significant people in your life. And Sam's space of love looked like a comforting and a welcoming home. And her soulmates over the years have been wandering pilgrims who have just completed one big phase of their life, and they just need a place to reflect, rest, and recover before they continue on to the next phase of their journey and soul's growth. So, do you see how your space of love will attract a certain type of soulmate? Now, Mary's space of love is a bank. It's full of cash, but banks are safe. They keep the money safe and secure. And she's had numerous business people in her life who came and went, and many of them in her space of love made money. Now, Sophia's space of love is the wild sea. Her soulmate isn't a therapist who goes to bed by 9 p.m. every night. Her soulmate is a man who can navigate a storm by starlight. A man who doesn't want Martha Stewart. He doesn't want an apple turnover. He wants to sail the sexy seas and adventure into the unknown. He doesn't want a woman with matching oven mitts. He wants a woman whose shirt is torn from lashing down the sails. A woman who is the sea, who can match his mountain. And he would want nothing less than the stormiest storm to bring out the bravest bravery within himself. Your soulmate brings out the truth of who you are. And Sophia's soulmate, his truth, is that he's an explorer. And his truth brings out her truth, that she's as wild as the sea. And if you remember last week, she thinks her space of love's too stormy for any normal man to settle down with. But her soulmate is not a normal man, and he doesn't settle. He sets sail. And I say this because everyone in the world is going to ask you why you can't have a normal relationship. Why can't you just date a dentist or a CPA? Like, why do you have to be the Underground Railroad like Sam, who has a sanctuary in the middle of the city where people who, in the midst of their pilgrimage, can rest their weary bones? It's like if you were Frodo Baggins, the Hobbit from the Lord of the Rings, and you were carrying the one ring who rules them all on your way to Mount Doom in Mordor. You would stop at Samantha's house halfway there to rest. Her soulmates are hobbits and Harriet Tubman, freedom fighters who change history, and beings from other dimensions. And people in this world are going to ask you why you can't have a normal love life. Like, why do you have to have the love story of the century? And the answer is because that's not how God designed us. If you look at nature, it's extremely complex, and yet everything in nature has an equally complex partner that mates with it, like the pufferfish. Now, this fish has many spikes. It's so spiky. Who is gonna mate with this fish? Who's gonna mate with someone who can stab you in the process? Now, if I were Mother Nature, I know if I were a professional matchmaker, I would tell God, like, I don't know if this girl can find a boyfriend because she has knives coming out of her whole body. Yet look at what God did. He made her use her knives as paintbrushes. The female pufferfish draws crop circles in the sand with her spikes that mesmerizes the male fish and makes him land inside those circles to fertilize her eggs. Her spikes that stab and slice become soft and as silky as the sand, and what was her murder weapon becomes her co-creative artistry. God did not make us generic, and He did not make our love generic. If we look at nature, it's obvious that God has style.